Uh-oh. What's happening? I know. There we go. You know what? Good morning. So when I try to do, there's this really cool thing that StreamYard will let you do is well, there's my Alexa going off too. Yeah, it's crazy. Happy Monday. Hey, how about that? Happy Monday.
Yeah,
Nice.
accurate.
How are you?
I'm good. Your hair, I love it. It looks so good. I'm so jealous.
Oh, thank you. I will tell you, it is about as much work as straightening it.
Yeah, I
So
believe that.
I always think, oh, I'll just let it be curly because it's naturally curly. But naturally curly is not this. This
Yeah.
is work curly.
Yeah,
So
you have to like
very much.
individually do each one, right?
Yes, and you have
Yeah.
to like anyway, there's a whole process. But thank you because that
Worth
means the
it.
process is worth it. That's right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday. Super. Hope you had a great weekend. We had a wonderful weekend with family. We had two family reunions. My mom's
Oh.
side on Sunday and my dad's side on Saturday. And so we had a great time. Lots of traveling, but we're back. Got to sleep in our own bed last night, so that starts the week in a good place. Um, Speaking of rest, what's our quote today?
Yeah, perfect segue. So
No,
today's
right?
quote comes to us from Ovid, who I did not look up. Um,
Either.
and they say, because I don't even know, I don't know anything about this person. It's terrible.
Yeah,
I need to build this into my process because we do this every week. I'm like, oh, it's Mindset Monday. Oh, I don't know who that person
I know
is.
who it is. I know. I
But
know. Me too.
anyways, the quote is take a rest. A field that has been rested gives a bountiful crop.
Yes. I love this. I grew up on a farm, central Indiana, cornfields, and I did not know this, but you cannot plant the same crop year after year after year after year because it degrades the soil quality. So that is why they rotate crops. And I thought this is kind of like rest, right? Like it's a great cornfield as long as we give it rest and we rotate it with soybeans every few years, right? Um, and I think this is really good for us too. I did not even take my computer this weekend. It
Good for
sat
you.
in my office all weekend. I had my phone, but I didn't really do much with it. You can't really work from your phone. You can in a pinch, but it's not
I
really
struggle
fun.
even working from my laptop, so you're preaching to the
Yeah,
choir.
right. I love it. So rest is good. Rest is good. And I don't know how it gets a bum rap. I don't, but I don't.
Because society is structured by those who rely upon most people punching a clock 9 to 5. And so society has created these
Mm,
beliefs that if we're not doing that, it's somehow tied to our value.
I like that. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't like it, but I
Yeah.
like that explanation. I don't like it, but I like the explanation of what that is because I'm like, man, rest is so good. I
Yeah.
always
You can thank
feel
the
like,
Industrial Revolution for that.
oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, because I don't know about you all, but there have been times like I'll be reading a book in a chair or, doing something like that, and all of a sudden this creepy little thought will cross my mind that says, get out of the chair. Why are you being so lazy?
Hmm.
Like, I'm reading a book.
Yeah, we have we live in a society which so closely relates productivity to self-worth. And I think especially with what you just mentioned just there, it's one of those things that gets instilled in us as children. Like there was actually like a concept growing up in my household. Don't I was told, don't let me catch you not doing anything because I'll fix that. And it took me years. Honestly, I still struggle with it sometimes, where like I have to consciously, like I'll know that my husband is coming home, and my like still today instinct reaction is like, well, let me make sure I've done enough before he comes home, or that he
Mhm.
at least sees me in the middle of doing something and can see that I've tried. Like it's so
Right.
deeply
Wow.
ingrained in our society.
It
Yes,
really
it's one of
is.
those things. What do we do about it? We bring awareness, so that
Right.
we can challenge it and work on it. So I catch
Right.
myself now, and I'm like, no, I am enough. I've done enough. As long as every day I can tell myself I have done the best that I can today, which by the way can vary day to day. If I've
Right.
given it my best, then mission accomplished. And so
Right.
to me, it's like focusing on the effort and intent over the outcome.
Mm. Yes. Yes, I love that. I love that. It's funny because I think we don't give rest its true credit, right? Because really, if we think about this, rest really is a productivity tool.
Yeah.
If we use it well, it will improve our efficiency and our productivity. Um, if we use it strategically, like all tools, right? If we use it appropriately, it will improve our efficiency and our productivity because it improves our. I don't know. I'm sure, Kayla, maybe you know this. There's got to be some scientific reason around, when I rest and I give my brain the permission to not be all deep in the workings of whatever my issues are right now, right? I just kind of let it go. It really, for me, it seems to unlock a lot of creativity, a lot
Mhm.
of, you know, thinking about things or generating ideas that when forced don't seem to come.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's like we still don't even know why sleep is required. But we know that it is required. But
Yes.
another thing that came up for me when you were talking is, see if this rings true for you, but we often in our society hold this belief that like rest is something that needs to be earned.
Ooh, yes.
When really
Yeah.
it's just a requirement of living. Like it's kind of like putting gas in your car's gas tank. Like you wouldn't say to your car, you have to earn the the next fill up.
That was the next
No,
big fill
you
up.
no, that's the thing you have to do if you want it to keep going. I mean, human bodies are the same way. Like every
Yes.
body process requires rest and sleep to function. You will literally die of sleep deprivation faster than you will die of food deprivation.
Isn't that
And
something?
yeah, and yet
Yeah.
we act like it's some award to have your days just chock
Right.
full. And guys, being busy is not the same thing as being productive. Yet we seem to also reward the busyness.
Yeah, I'm going to say, Kayla, we talk about busy versus productivity lots inside the strategic planning crew, because busy work will creep in and take over if we're not aware. And you're absolutely right. Being busy is not the same as
And
being
and
productive.
it's super interesting on that tangent. The difference between being busy and being productive is focus. Typically, our
Right.
focus is too scattered. And it's really interesting. One of the podcasts I was listening to recently, the person was talking about how so many people talk about time management strategies. And really, it's time isn't the issue. We all have the same amount of time. You should be focusing
Focusing on
on your focus management. because that is what gets pulled and stretched and then
Yes.
has us so scattered and moving into busy instead of productive. And you know what focus requires?
Rest.
Rest.
Right. I mean, really. So it's this cycle. This is why we talk about this on Mondays, right? Because it really is, every little piece is all tied together.
Yeah.
Like, and when that's why we need awareness around all of it, right? Not just, oh, I'm going to work really hard so I can get this reward or rest at the end. No, I'm going to rest and relax so that I can get through this really hard stuff, like,
Yeah.
so that I
And
can
it
keep showing up.
Yeah, and it even gets small and sneaky sometimes. So I want to share an example with people that I use almost on the daily. So my if you haven't figured this out by now, I'm probably categorized as like type A. Like I'm a doer. Like I wake up in the morning and I am here to get shit done. Like I don't need
Yes.
anything to make me motivated. I am highly intrinsically motivated for things. So for me, I have to be on the lookout to making sure that I am putting up those guardrails and allowing myself that rest and breaking that mindset of rest being earned. So one of the ways that this shows up for me is I have a natural tendency, if I'm, whatever I'm working on, if I'll start to notice, my focus drifting off, and my natural inclination is to say, well, let me just finish this thing and then I
And
will take the break, go for a walk, sit down, call some whatever that
yes,
restorative process is going to look like. And so one of the ways that I've really been working to implement this is as soon as I recognize that shift in focus, it's a hard check-in for me to say,
mhm,
is it productive overall in my day to refocus and hammer in on this thing? Or would I actually serve myself better by
better.
stepping away, taking that time to recharge my brain? And often what this looks like for me is just taking a walk around the block, getting outside, getting in the fresh air, like no earbuds, just walking and letting my thoughts wander. And that like 15-minute break, I come back so much more focused because
Right.
I've given myself the free space to not be trying to, function all in a straight line. And that mental rest makes me more productive when I come back in front of the
Right.
computer.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. I find myself outside as a good reset for me as well.
Yeah.
Like just good fresh air, all of those things. So whatever that is for you, what do you need? Is it, a step into the living room, or I don't know, do you work from home, or what is that the thing? Good morning, Tamika. It's what is the thing that you do that gives you that quick recharge? That's what I want to call it, a quick recharge, right? Not a full, but quick rest, relax, recharge. Um, Whatever that might be. I love that you talked a little bit about, um, I heard something that you said, and I can't remember what it was, but it reminded me of boundaries. And I think this is an area where we need to be really aware of our boundaries so that we're not letting busyness or I don't want to say inconsequential, but little things impede on um on our energy, because it's really easy to, for me, I get caught up in things that zap my energy really quickly. And if I'm not highly aware of what's happening, I will be zapped of my energy and still have a lot to do. So I need more
Mm-hmm.
recharging. Like I have to be like this energy thing, rest, energy, and boundaries seem to be for me really intertwined as well. So because I can't tell you how many times a day I end up doing something, and in the middle of doing it, I'm like, wait, how did I get here? Like, this wasn't the
Mm-hmm.
plan, right?
I have
And
not been operating with intention for the past hour.
yes, exactly, exactly. And so that has been, how do you keep those? You called them guardrails. That's what it was. You talked about putting guardrails up, and I immediately thought of boundaries in regards to that, especially when it comes to my energy and my rest. And I think that that is a place that we don't always think about boundaries being important, because a lot of us are focused on service, and we
Mm-hmm.
think that when we serve, those guardrails or those boundaries are, I don't know, less important, or maybe we just don't pay attention to them. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Kayla?
Yeah, it's always worth repeating oxygen mask theory. You
Yes,
gotta take
yes,
care of yourself before you can take care of others. And at the same time, taking care of yourself doesn't and shouldn't be some, big out of
yes.
like reach thing. Like a spa day is not realistic for
Right,
most of us. Like,
right.
take your self-care and figure out what are your goals here, and how can you meet those goals in more actionable, attainable ways that you can actually hit every day. I think it's also, though, important in this conversation to take a look all the way from the top when we're talking about rest. Are you sleeping enough at night?
Oh, girl, say that one again. Say that
Go to
one
bed.
again. Right? Right? Go to bed. I cannot tell you. I don't even know. It's been a couple years ago that I got really serious about this one. And I go to bed anywhere between 9 and 10, sometimes earlier, depending, but anywhere between 9 and 10 every single night, weekday, weekend, all of it. I was able to reset my circadian clock, and I don't need an alarm anymore. And I get up at the same time every single day. I cannot tell you the difference that has made.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously made a difference in how I show up and how I feel. So yeah, make sure you're getting your sleep. It's not a badge of honor to only get 2 hours of sleep, or three, or
Oh
four, or
God.
even five. That's not a badge of honor. Like, it's gonna, sometimes I think it plays a bigger toll than what we realize or want to admit, right?
100%. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
So,
linked to so many chronic health conditions. Um,
right?
Also, everybody's internal clock and sleep needs do vary differently. If you're struggling with sleep and haven't given it a lot of attention, I really encourage you to go down the rabbit hole of exploring how to figure out what your sleep cycles are like, what your natural rhythm is like. I mean, there's a tool, device, strategy, or protocol for everything nowadays. If this is
Mhm.
an area of struggle for you, here's one of my top tips lately. Go talk to Chat GPT.
Right?
Like, we
Find
live in
out.
this amazing age. Like, not like for the longest time everybody's had a computer in your pocket and like you can just Google it, but now we have free unlimited access to AI where you can get more than just an answer. You can actually have a conversation with nuance to figure out something that is going to work for you, and probably not
Yes.
immediately off the bat, but
Right.
be able to interact and go back and forth and have the dialogue. Well, I tried this. Now we're going to pivot to that, da, 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 da. And access that kind of resource that you used to only be able to get if you hired a professional. Now,
Right.
AI robots do not replace coaches, but for somebody who is not in a position to be dumping a bunch of money on this, it is a way better way to get started with
Yes.
diagnosing your challenges around sleep and rest than just to continue trying to ignore it.
Right, right. Ignore it or self-medicate it, all kinds of like rabbit holes that we can go there. So, yeah, so take care of yourself. Make sure you're getting some rest. Hey, listen, Kim has a great suggestion here in regards to getting rest. she has started journaling, and that has been helping her get some more rest. It's like the thoughts are pinging around so frequently that I'm assuming, Kim, once you get those out onto paper into your journal, your brain and your body feel like it can relax a little bit more. So, you know, if you're struggling, that's another alternative that you can give a try too. Try journaling. I also appreciate journaling for so many reasons. Um, in fact, it's one of the reasons inside of the Ultimate Advocates Planner, I have a random thought repository every 7 or 8 pages, because I too find that ideas and things pop into my head and they will eat up space and energy if I don't get them out onto paper where they can be safe and sound until I'm ready to go back and visit them. So I think there's a lot to be said about writing some of our thoughts and our feelings down so that we can free up the space in our mind to be more focused on our
Yeah,
intentional
and
activities.
to let your mind settle on, either settle for sleep or be able to then focus on whatever it is you're trying to do. Also, it releases cognitive capacity then. You know, there's this concept of your brain is meant for generating ideas, not for holding on to them. And
Mm,
when you force it to act as a storage unit, it's really inefficient in that way. Like I have way too many notes on my phone because I have like different categories for different
sure.
things, and then I have different parts in my like weekly agenda where I dedicate to working through like the different types of. But it's a whole process. I have a process for everything at this point in my
Sure.
life, but it just frees up. Like, you don't realize how much, frankly, BS is bogging you down until you're able to release it.
Right. Right. Insane.
Kim, I'm glad that one resonated
Yes.
with you.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Me too. I got lost there for just a minute. All right. I love that. Yes, generating, not holding on to. It's not a storage unit. Um, well, anyway. All right. So what other things do I have written down in here? Oh, I made a note here that rest also, so in addition to having boundaries around it and being a productivity tool, I also wrote down that rest actually builds our capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I think it's really important that we understand, again, when we take the rest, take the break, it actually does give us, I don't know if it's more energy, more bandwidth, more, I don't know, maybe the capacity is a benefit of the increased creativity and strategic thinking. I feel like I make better decisions when I'm well rested. When I'm not well rested, I seem to be a little bit more fearful and concerned and second guess myself. Whereas when I'm really rested, I have this level of confidence that I don't always have when I'm not as rested. Does that
Well, yeah,
resonate with
I mean,
anyone?
that makes absolute sense because what you're describing there is the difference between the intuitive conscious mind and the
Here we go.
ego driven primal lizard brain, which is lower down in brain function. And, that's all of our hardwired fight or flight survival mechanisms. They're also the last to go offline. They require the lowest level of brain function.
That
So
makes sense.
when you're tired, stressed, overcapacity, whatever, it's your high level intuitive conscious brain that's impacted. Its capacity decreases. So naturally, the lizard
Yes.
brain gets louder.
Right? That makes sense. That does make sense to me. And that would absolutely fall in line with what I experienced. So, yeah, so thank you. That's all right. So we've talked about it. Rest is just so important, that and how society has kind of taught us that maybe you don't need that, or it's a reward, or it's some sort of thing to do after you get all of the things done. which, by the way, things never get done. Individual tasks get done, but like the things, there's always more things. So it's
Yeah.
never ending. And I think Kayla and I talked about this before about how that might be a new concept if you're transitioning into advocacy work. Um, you know, that checklists may or may not get completed each and every day. And there may be a certain amount of work that has to, ride to the next day, which might be a new experience for some of us coming into this. Um, but I think when we start to wrap our head around that everything will never be done, it makes it easier to say, okay, it's time for a rest so that I can come back and continue this journey, as opposed to, oh, I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to start a new journey, right? Like the journey just is continuous for me.
Yeah. And also just, really giving yourself the power back to make that decision and make that call of what is enough for this
Yes.
project, this day, this season. What is enough? You decide that, and not at
Yes.
the expense of yourself, and you don't
Right.
have to prove it to
Right.
anybody.
I love that. That's right. No proof, no proving required. Yeah, you are enough. Where is that place? Okay, let's move into, because we've got about a few minutes here. We've, as always, great conversation. We get through 30 minutes so fast. So let's talk about what our mindset challenge for the week is. I kind of wrote down, like, I want to know what's one way that you're going to let yourself rest this week. Are you going to block off a no meeting week afternoon? Like, are you going to say, okay, on Thursday afternoon, I am leaving that blank on my calendar today so that I can fill in the blank? Or are you going to say no to a project that doesn't align? I had to do that last week, and oh my gosh, it's so hard, and do it anyway, right? Um, so say no to a project that doesn't align, or finally schedule that weekend away that you've been talking about wanting to do. What is one thing you're going to do to rest this week and take care of yourself? That's what I wanted to know. Kayla, do you have a challenge?
Yeah, my challenge to you is to look at your sleep schedule and
Mm.
identify one thing you can do to improve it every day. One little thing. Maybe it's setting a hard bedtime. Maybe it's that your mattress is crap, but you've been putting off buying a new one. I'll save you the time. Go get a purple mattress.
I love it. That's great. Okay. So that's where we're at. What are you going to do? One thing, you're going to do that sleep audit, that Kayla just recommended, the sleep audit. What's one thing that you can do to improve your sleep this week? Next week, we will be back and we will be talking about authenticity and well being. But in the meantime, thanks for being part of this community. We all really appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you on Wednesday, and hopefully, we'll see you back here next Monday at 9 a.m. Have a great week, y'all.
Bye.